From the information that you can recall, Minister, is there any indication that there may have been any interference on the part of An Garda Síochána in any way, as far as you know?
Minister,
I don't have that explicit information. No, I do not.
Can I ask the Minister for Justice the same question? Would you be aware, Minister, of any potential interference on the part of An Garda Síochána on either end of those two different correspondences? We're talking about the 9th of August 2013, when there was a report made to Taoiseach, which was made the false allegation in relation to Maurice McCabe, and then there was a change, an amended report on the 14th of May 2014. And my question is, are you aware of any possible Garda Síochána interference on either end of those two correspondences?
Okay, no, I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of that. I do now have, since I think it was yesterday, the HSE file. I do have a copy of that now, but I'm not aware of any, because I don't have any of that information. No, I have nothing in relation to that, because, as I said, I didn't know about the false allegation. I didn't know that a referral had been made like that to Taoiseach. No information on that. So any of the interactions around it, because I didn't know about it, I was never briefed on it, was never brought to my attention, for example, by any member of An Garda Síochána or any briefing I was at. So the answer is that I don't have the information you're asking about. I don't have any information that happened.
Okay, thank you, Minister. Deputy Daly.
That's not clear, Minister, whether you don't have the information because you haven't read the file yet, or because that information isn't contained in it. You might answer that with my next question. I want to put on the record that Minister Sapone has responded efficiently, sensitively and appropriately. And I'm not just saying that as my opinion. I have seen the evidence that supports that was an adequate response when she was made available of those allegations. It's not, her account today has been imminently believable. And I'd have to put it to you, Taoiseach and Taoiseach, that your account has not been the same. It hasn't been as fulsome, it hasn't been as humble, because what the two of you have tried to do is hide behind, whether, as you said, you acknowledge of the Taoiseach files, as if this is some get out of jail card. We all know that what we're talking about here was the protected disclosure of Dave Taylor. The knowledge that many people, including the two of you, had was that false allegations of child sex abuse were being made against Maurice McCabe. And do you honestly expect us to believe, as he said a minute ago, that when Minister Sapone told you she was meeting the McCabes, that you thought it might be over a personal matter and wouldn't have anything to do with this, that you should have an interest in?
Taoiseach.
Daly is aware that the protected disclosures received by the Minister for Justice are not public information. No member of the Cabinet except herself had access to those particular files, and that's why when they were referred to Judge O'Neill, he considered them, he made his recommendation, have a commission of investigation, and here are my suggested terms of reference.
Having had access to the information in the protected disclosure, the Minister was aware that a false allegation of child abuse was there against Maurice McCabe, and that in Dave Taylor's allegation it was that he had been instructed to spread words to journalists. How do we know? Because the one thing you are right about is it was included in the terms of reference. This criminal misconduct could have been investigated, but now you're telling us that nobody had any knowledge of it. It's just not credible, and there's a huge problem if we can't believe the word of the Minister for Justice.
I'm not hiding behind anything. I'm telling you the facts. The facts are that I had a protected disclosure. Now, you're assuming, you seem to know what was in that protected disclosure. No, yes, but you're saying, you're saying it's about child sexual abuse allegations. In fact, the protected disclosure, as referenced by the terms of reference, was to do with a smear campaign about allegations, a smear campaign being run by the Commissioner and the Assistant Commissioner was the allegation. That was the allegation about a smear campaign. So when I say to you that I had no information, no briefing, I'm not hiding behind any one file or another file. What I'm saying to you is that those allegations are not in any file that I hold. They're not in anything that I was aware of. So when Deputy Wallace asks me about An Garda Síochána and involvement in that, I have no information on that. Can I just finish by saying the file I'm referring to was the file that Minister Sapone has, which gave the details of the counselling service and the interactions in relation to that, and those being referred to TUSLA.
Thank you, Minister. You have 1 minute left.
Smear campaign, then why did the terms of reference include reference to an allegation of criminal misconduct? If that criminal misconduct is not alleged child sexual abuse, then you might tell us what it is.
There's 30 seconds left on the clock. Minister, if you want to respond, please.
Well, the judge decided that any allegation of criminal misconduct that had been made against Sgt McCabe should be included clearly, and he has it in the terms of reference. So it would cover sexual allegations.
1 second, please. Sorry, Deputy, please don't talk over the Minister.
I'm sorry, I think you're misunderstanding me, Deputy.
Okay.
You're misrepresenting what I'm saying.
Thank you indeed. Time is up.